NASDAQ is primarily, I think, known as a big exchange, running a lot of markets in the US and also running markets in the Nordic countries. But we are also a very big provider of technology to other marketplaces, banks and brokers across the globe. And we've done that since the past 30 years. And now we can see how that type of technology can also be used in other types of industries. So we are now working to see how our technology can work beyond what we call the capital markets then, moving into new types of markets. So that's why the maritime business is very, very interesting for us, because we see how we can bring knowledge and competence from the financial side into new types of industries, being the maritime business. I think it's very positive. I mean, when I've been here at the conference now for the 2 days, I think it's a lot of good discussions. There's a lot of activity going on digitalization of the ports, and a lot of discussion on how to use blockchain. And I think there's a lot of good work going on within the ports and the maritime business. I think the next step now is really to see how could we collaborate together. Because once you start to collaborate, you're going to see how blockchain can support you from a technology point of view to improve the collaboration, the sharing of data, the sharing of communication, transactions, records, and an easier way to reach optimal efficiency for the industry. I think primarily, I mean, when thinking about blockchain, it's a lot about thinking about the golden source of data. I mean, how can we all in the community, in the consortium or in a group of ports or the whole shipping industry agree on what is on the record, and that we all ensure that, yes, what I see is exactly what you see. So there's no disputes anymore about blockchain. The other part is where we can bring in here is how can we create more efficient ways to meet up the supply and demand. There is always a need for, I want to transport something from A to B, and there are transports available. So how can we achieve a much more efficient way for price discovery and finding the buyer and the seller, as we call it from the financial side, to meet up in a very efficient and fair way for the participants. So once you have the golden source of data and once you have an efficient marketplace in place, I mean, you can reach a lot of operational efficiency by using this technology, because then we know how to communicate. We can much easier and more trustworthy communicate with one another. We know how to find each other and at the best price level. So I think the operational efficiency is the third point I would like to mention, what blockchain can give to us. Yes, I think from our point of view, we are already delivering solutions for using the blockchain technology. So the first example would be in the advertising industry, how we create a homogeneous market where you can issue contracts, you can trade those contracts, and you can settle and arrange the payments of those contracts for the advertisement industry. So you can order now in advance through blockchain technology, buy and sell ad space on internet. I think other interesting areas what we are working on is on the data side. So we're working in the healthcare industry to see how can we more efficiently trade data with one another, move data between different ports in your example, or how can we exchange or trade and create value. I can search for a data set across the industry and then receive, okay, who would I like to buy the data from? I think another interesting aspect is from the agriculture industry, where we're working with another client to see how can we actually track the whole life cycle of the digital asset from its inception, from where you create the contract until it's put into, you're working with grain as an example, and how we can create a marketplace to efficiently have a price discovery going on and efficiently match then the one who wants to buy a certain amount of grain, and then how we can assure through the blockchain technique that it's settled and it's delivered according to what was agreed upon. So we are using blockchain here as a digital immutable ledger to store the proofs of all the events in the value chain for our digital assets.